Do you know what I should check? Where is this in the charts? This has to be going up in the charts.
I mean, it must be the most searched song right now on YouTube.
I've been listening to it on Spotify. I'll be honest. I've been listening to it on Spotify, and I wouldn't be surprised if it makes top 10. If England do go on a journey in this tournament, I wouldn't be surprised. But welcome back, everybody, to All Things Football. I've got a smile on my face. Ibs has a smile on his face, and that is for one reason and one reason only. England have knocked out Germany in the round of 16 of Euro 2020, just a year late. Raheem Sterling opened scoring, and Harry Kane put the icing on the cake to finish the Germans off. This is the first time since 1966 in which England have beaten Germany or West Germany in a major tournament. The other result today saw Ukraine beat Sweden 2-1 with a late-headed goal in extra time. So we're going to play them in Rome, I think, on Saturday. Yesterday's matches, I think I can speak on behalf of pretty much everyone when I say that might have been the best day of football in terms of the matches we got to witness in a very, very long time. Spain put 5 past Croatia in a 5-3 win. Alvaro Morata finally turned up. And obviously, Switzerland knocked out France. Kylian Mbappe, or as Ibs like to say, Kylian, you're still on mute.
That is just how Mbappe's performance was this whole time. It was on mute. Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, he missed a vital penalty which sent the world champions crashing out of the Euro 2020 knockout rounds. The group of death, as they say, they're all eliminated. Hungary obviously didn't make it out of the group. Portugal, Germany, and France lost. Everything that England fans wanted is happening.
Group of death for a reason. Literally, they all died. They all fell off. They all eliminated.
I mean, it's all right to get carried away a little bit because we have done what people think we wouldn't do. We did knock out Germany, but we still have a few matches to play until we reach the final, if we reach it. Ukraine aren't as bad as people think they are. We've been here before with them in the Euros. We played them at 2012. It's a game where Danny Welbeck scored that. I want to say back heel, but it might not have been a back heel. He scored that goal. We beat them, of course. We're going to have to repeat that feat and make it to the semi-finals at Wembley because home advantage is a real thing. Today we saw over 45,000 people in the stadium, and it does make a big difference. I believe we were the home team on like the actual on paper.
We were the home team on paper.
Yeah, and I believe we will be the home team again if we get to the semis. And that might not mean anything to you, but in terms of the seats allocation, it means a lot because the home team gets the majority of fans, neutral fans as well. And obviously because it's in England, those neutral fans will most probably be English. So you're looking at a 10 to 15,000 swing. And that makes a massive difference. You would have heard from today when Sterling put the ball in the back of the net. I said on Twitter a few days ago when Christensen scored that goal for Denmark, I haven't heard a noise like that in a very long time. When Sterling scored, it came close. And I mean, when everybody's excited, when we think that we're actually going to win the tournament, I can see it getting even louder. I'm getting excited, man.
Where to start? Where do we start? I don't even know where to start because we just beat Germany for the first time in 55 years in a major tournament. And yeah, Gareth Southgate. I think the team selection, he went 3 at the back today.
Yeah.
Was it Maguire, Walker, and Shaw?
Yeah, no,
Stones, and then Luke Shaw, left wing back. Was it Trippier, right?
Yeah.
And the middle, Rice, Phillips. Was it? He was right and left. No, yeah, I said right and left already. And then Sterling, Kane, and Saka. And Saka definitely earned this spot because was it 6 caps or 5 caps? He has 3 man of the match performances.
Yeah, he's played well when he's been selected. He has justified Southgate's selection of him, even though he was criticised. Both of them were criticised when he was selected for the first time in the Euros. I mean, he's a I actually think he's better than people think because he plays for Arsenal. It's trendy to joke about Arsenal, but I don't think people realize the quality he actually has because of his club side. And he showed it again against Germany. He had a good first half. He was receiving the ball with pressure on him. He was turning players with the first touch. He turned Kroos a couple of times. Rudiger couldn't handle him. He was winning fouls, dropping his shoulder on the Chelsea centre back. It was a great performance in the first half, but obviously he did get taken off in the second half because he just wasn't able to keep up the level of performance that he did have in the first 45. But I think Southgate's selection so far, I think today the match against Germany was the only time where his selections really could have come back and
it could have not worked.
Yeah,
just because he obviously Saka, Sterling, Kane, that's something you wouldn't really expect. Even though we know Saka has earned his place to start, you wouldn't know if Southgate is willing to take the risk, but he took the risk.
Yeah,
and we still won the game. Obviously off the bench who came off the bench for Saka? Was it
Grealish?
Grealish.
He changed the match.
Yeah, that's why I said Grealish isn't. I don't think Grealish is a player who starts games. Come off the bench when other players are fatigued, and he creates chances. And obviously he got the assist for Harry Kane. He got the pre-assist for Sterling.
Yeah,
because obviously Luke Shaw got the assist for that goal. And I think that's how Grealish plays. I think he's most effective in this team when he does come off the bench, to be honest.
For this team, I will agree but disagree. I agree because he's shown that he's effective off the bench. But then at the same time, all I'm going to come back and say is he should be starting because he's better than what we have. Imagine that from the first minute. Imagine his dangerous passes. Imagine his movement. Imagine him drawing fouls in and around the box from minute one. Why can't we have that from the beginning? And it's so hard to criticize the selections because we have just gone and won the game 2-0. But I always say you can do it better. You can win by more than 2. You can win by 3 or 4. That game was there for the taking earlier on. Germany aren't the side they were a few years ago, but they're still a good side. But I believe that if Grealish did start the game ahead of Saka, because you're not going to drop Sterling and Kane isn't going to get dropped. People have to realize Kane is not going to get dropped.
Undroppable.
Yeah, he is undroppable. He's not a bad player. He's not, by any sense of imagination, a bad player. He's just not had the confidence that he's had for the whole of last season. But he has scored a goal today, so hopefully that does kickstart his tournament. But I think Grealish does need to start because he is one of our best attacking players. I think he's better than Saka. He can do what Saka does, but on a whole different level. And I say that, and I'm always going to say it, Sancho is better than all of them.
Well, Sancho didn't play again.
Yep.
Rashford didn't even play. He was on the bench.
I'm getting a bit worried. I'll be real. I'll be really honest with you. I'm getting a bit worried.
I feel like Sancho is not going to play. I think if he does play against Ukraine, he'll play last maybe 15.
Yeah.
Rashford, if he does play against Ukraine, maybe half an hour. But at the same time, we can get worried that they don't play. But if England are winning, it's about the team.
Exactly.
We're winning. That's what matters. Raheem Sterling, again, our top goal scorer.
Boy from Brent.
Boy from Brent in Wembley, in his area. And again, he's silencing the papers. They're about to write some mad stories about him. And then he just comes and scores. And then they start to cross it out.
I'm actually, in my dissertation right now, I'm writing about Raheem Sterling's abuse that the Sun and the Daily Mail gave him. I might have had to put an extra few paragraphs in there, but luckily I won't have to. I mean, he was heavily criticized because he didn't have the best season for Manchester City. Yes, he won the Premier League. He picked up a few goals here and there, but he wasn't putting in the level of performances that we've seen from him over the past few years. But home advantage, the passion that the fans being brought back into the stadium gives the players, and the fact, I say home advantage because it's Wembley, but that's his actual home. He was only born down the road. He lived down the road. I think mentality is underlooked a lot by fans in football. But Raheem Sterling, as Darren says, he's silencing the papers. He's silencing all of his critics. He's our top scorer. And he has carried us so far. I'll be honest.
Definitely carried us. And he, even in his post-match interview, I think they asked him about, has he like something about his team selection. Has he proved that he should be in the team selection? And he just aired it because that's a silly question to ask him.
Yeah,
Of course, he's proved it. He's our top goal scorer. You should be asking Kane that. Is Kane worthy of starting a game?
yeah.
That's the real question. But because it's Kane, they're never going to ask him that. They'll never ask someone like Kane.
He's the captain. He's the captain. He's not going to be asked those questions. He's the good boy of English football. I've never ever seen anything bad written about Harry Kane with any substance. He doesn't get unjustified criticism. There's a difference between criticizing someone and just hurling abuse at them. Raheem Sterling was a victim of what I think is racial abuse. Harry Kane is a victim of justified criticism when bad stuff gets written about, and there's a difference. But I think now that he scored a goal, especially now that he scored a goal with that newly found momentum, plus the win that we had today, I'd be worried. I mean, if I was a Ukraine fan, if I was the manager of Ukraine, I'd be worried because he is the second best striker in the world, and now that he has that kickstart, you're going to be seeing shots from 30 yards out. You're going to be seeing everything.
The goals will be running in. There's going to be, This is a great time. If you're on fantasy, put Kane in your team. Put Kane in your team, captain him. Unfortunately, I took him out. I took him out last week.
If Darren's still here, I just looked at the fantasy league, and you might need to put Kane in and captain him because you are bottom, boy. You are bottom.
You're bottom of the league. Maybe you've just forgotten about it. I don't know, but you're bottom, so something needs to happen. You need to change something.
Yeah. Put Kane and Grealish in.
But I want to go to the defense because we haven't conceded a single goal this Euros. Is that 4 clean sheets, 5 clean sheets? Four clean sheets. Maguire, Stones, Shaw, and Trippier. I think our defense. Obviously, many people were criticizing our defense whether we would be able to cope or not, and we've proven it. 4 games in, no goals conceded.
Yeah, I think before I talk about this game, what I do want to say quickly is I don't want to see this 3 at the back going into the Ukraine match. I know we've won with 3 at the back.
We don't need to do
it. Back. We only played that to combat the Germans formation, but the 3 at the back, 5 at the back. I'll say 5 at the back of Shaw on the left, Maguire, Walker, Stones, and Kieran Trippier. I think was perfect for today because you have the pace of Kyle Walker, which we saw. I know he didn't actually like make a block or interception or anything, but the raw pace of Kyle Walker to make up about 15 yards on Thomas Müller when he was clean through was
Müller,
like actually ridiculous.
That was criminal. That finish was criminal.
But I think it goes to show that they're not the same team they were 5 years ago because if Thomas Müller puts that in the back of the net 9 out of 10 times, it just so happens that today was that one time he didn't find the net. But I think that might have been the only mistake. That it wasn't even the defense. It was Raheem Sterling on the ball.
Yeah.
One thing I will say though is John Stones.
Wait, Sancho.
Yeah, let me go and check.
I don't want to be seeing these things because don't say that. Don't say that because
I don't think it's official.
It's not signed. It's not official. Everyone on Twitter is saying, okay, no, it is. It's done.
Fabrizio Romano.
Yeah, Fabrizio Romano did the laughing emoji and eyes.
Wait.
Here we go.
Marcus Rashford replied to a tweet. Someone said, announce Sancho Marcus. Rashford replied to that tweet saying yes. And then Fabrizio Romano
not just yet.
That Jadon Sancho will load in. Agent Marcus knows. I get me excited like that.
Okay, it's done. It's done. Let's go back to the England game. Let's go back.
But the only mistake I could say the defense made today was when Sterling lost the ball, John Stones committed and then didn't. So he was then out of position. I think if you pull yourself out of position 5 to 10 yards and like pretend to commit, you have to commit because now there's a massive hole. Maybe you could have blocked that pass or even made a tackle if you fully committed to that press. But as I said, the pace shown from Kyle Walker, I think, is exactly why he was put in the back 3. over, because you could have put Reece James in the back three and put Kyle Walker at right wing back
based on pace.
Yeah, and he has improved defensively since he's been at Manchester City. We saw at the 2018 World Cup, he was a bit suspect at the centre back position because that was the first time he'd played there. He'd played there, but at City under Pep, he's played centre back a couple of times and put in a few good performances. So I think today was the perfect time to utilize him as a right centre back option.
And Luke Shaw, best left back in England, best left back. I want to say the world, but I'm not too sure.
No, I didn't say it. It's a tale of two halves.
In the world right now, Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
And he got the assist. I mean, he's always getting up and down. Even wing back, he'll still get up and down. Got the assist for Raheem Sterling, and he's just had a great season. There's not much more I can say about Shaw.
I will say in the first half, he didn't have the best half, but I think the fullbacks, Big Ron. I think the fullbacks were a bit tentative. They weren't attacking as much as they were in the second half, but in the second 45, Luke Shaw you saw, if people weren't watching Manchester United last season and were wondering why there's so much hype around him, the second half proved exactly why. You saw his attacking talents. He was relentless going forward. He was winning the ball in the attacking midfield position. He won the ball, which set up Grealish for the Harry Kane goal.
He was in the number 10 position when he got that ball. Yeah. And then he played it out wide to Grealish.
Yeah, we were 1-0 up, but that's about confidence. That's about you're taking advantage. You can see that the German players are tired and they're chasing the game. So you're going to put yourself in positions which you wouldn't. If we were losing 1-0, he's not there. But we're 1-0 up and he's capitalizing on that. And it was, I think, a perfect second half from him. His relationship with Maguire as a left centre back and left wing back combination is something that is very, very underrated. You can see their connection. Maguire just knows where he's going to be. When Maguire's running with the ball, he doesn't even look left, but he passes it there because he knows Shaw's going to be there, and it makes a massive difference.
Yeah, Big Ron says Shaw up against Kimmich did well, and assistant helped the second goal. Yeah, Kimmich is meant to be Champions League winner, one of the best right back CDMs in Europe.
One thing. I don't know why he plays right back for Germany. CDM is his position. I mean, he's replaced Lahm, and Lahm played right back for the majority, then left back a couple of times, and then he moved to CDM. But Kimmich's best position is CDM because when he gets on the ball, he's able to pick those raking passes out. He's able to play it short, dictate the game. But when you're at right back, only Trent can do that. The only player I know that can dictate the whole game from right back is Alexander-Arnold. Kimmich isn't on that level as a right back, but yeah, Shaw did very well against him, and so did Raheem Sterling and then Grealish when he came on.
Yeah, talking about Grealish, Big Ron says, did you see the control of the ball from Grealish into his path with his right foot and then straight onto his left foot without breaking his stride into Kane? And we're talking about world-class players here. This is Jack Grealish. He might not be world-class right now, but he is getting into that bracket.
Very, very close.
He is getting into that bracket, and if he stays at Villa, he's not going to get there. He needs to leave Villa this summer and be playing Champions League football where Europe can see his talent, because Aston Villa, you can carry your team on your back for a whole season, but what's the point? You're not winning anything. You're not Champions League. You're not actually like challenging for anything. So he definitely needs to leave. Whether City for 100 million, I think City, that's the only choice.
I mean, we're not going to be in for him.
Yeah, we're not getting him.
We should have last year, but unfortunately we didn't. Manchester City, apparently the deal's already done, and it will be announced after the Euros whether it's...
I think that could be true. Obviously, the same with Sancho. Sancho deal is probably done. Maybe that could be a possibility, a factor. Maybe that's why Sancho hasn't been playing. Maybe
he's distracted. I don't know. But yeah, Jack Grealish, that touch and then cross with his left foot, it was sublime. I actually thought the cross was too strong. Well, maybe it was the angle of the camera on the TV, but I didn't think Kane was going to get there. But obviously, it was an inch perfect cross for Harry Kane, and obviously he found the back of the net. But Jack Grealish changed the game. I still think he should start, but we can't argue with what contribution he made today.
But yes, I think we're gonna have to come back to this England game at the end of the episode because we can just do a whole hour on England.
Yeah.
We'll come back to it at the end. We'll go to the first games of the round of 16 from Saturday.
Yeah.
Wales lost 4-0 to Denmark. Why did I think Wales were gonna win? I actually thought they were gonna win.
You
I thought
they
Bale
were
would
going to
turn
win.
up. I thought Dan James, the world-class winger, he plays for Man United, would turn up. But no. Denmark outclassed them. Denmark.
Yeah. Denmark are a good team. Damsgaard, not Damsgaard, so what am I talking about? Braithwaite with the final goal. I think they're finally finding their feet. After what happened at the beginning, it would have been easy for them to lose their heads or just not be in it properly. But I think in a weird sort of way, it's giving them an extra reason.
Didn't they lose their opening 2 games?
They lost against Finland. They beat Russia. I want to say they lost their opening 2 games, I think, and I think they went for 3 points. They have a lot of reasons to go far in this tournament, and I think, are they playing against Spain? No, Spain, Switzerland. Who are Denmark playing against in the quarters?
Pretty sure it's the Czech.
Yeah, it's Czech Republic against Denmark. But they dominated Wales. I think Wales 5 years ago in 2016, they had a good team. They had a good manager. Bale was in his prime. Aaron Ramsey was playing way better football. Obviously, Dan James didn't exist, but they had a better team. But now, I think they went through on heart. They had a couple of good games, but I think the quality that they lack really got exposed.
There's
by
literally
Denmark.
no quality whatsoever in that Wales team. It's literally just go out there, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Bale didn't have a good game at all. He's not the player he used to be, and I think you said it in the last episode we did on here. But players like Bale, players like Lewandowski, they're wingers, they're attackers, they're meant to be the goal getters for their team, but they're dropping deep. They're playing in their own half, trying to spray balls like Scholes and Gerrard. It's not the way you're going to win a game. It's not the way you're going to win a tournament as a player like Gareth Bale.
What I would say about Wales is they had a very, very bright first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
But you can't just have a bright first 10 minutes of the game and then for the remaining 80, just get dominated.
Yeah.
So obviously they just couldn't keep it up and ultimately not good enough and lost 4-0.
And they went down to 10 men as well because Ethan Ampadu got sent off. So that obviously didn't help.
That was the previous game. This game it was Wilson came on, got sent off.
Oh yeah, Wilson. It obviously didn't help the cause. Yeah, we weren't alive in '92, but I do know about Denmark. They weren't even meant to be in that tournament.
Wait, what happened in '92?
Denmark won the Euros.
They won the Euros.
Yeah, I can't remember what team got pulled out. Was
Schmeichel there?
Pretty sure it was, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, on the same day, Italy, they beat Austria 2-1. It went to extra time, and Chiesa came on. What was it? I think he took a touch with his right foot across the defender, and then smashed it with his left foot.
The control at first with his head was I think that's what gave the defender the thought in his head to fully commit to that challenge, because he came flying in as almost to just like knock out for a corner, but then obviously Chiesa had that little touch of his right, knocked it down, which set it up perfectly for the shot, and obviously it went in. Substitutes making a big difference at this tournament. Then obviously Pacino?
Yeah, Pacino. I think
that's his name. He got the second.
But then Austria came back, and but I think it was a little bit too late.
Definitely
2-1. But
Marko Arnautovic actually put them ahead with an offside goal. That was literally inches. Maybe if he was a size, maybe if he wasn't a size 8, maybe if he was a size 7 or something, that goal would have counted. Great play from Austria. Nice head at the back post by Alaba. He really, really hung in the air like a Ronaldo jump, actually. And then, that's the only thing that didn't go for England, man. Italy, because Italy are playing Belgium in the
that's worthy of being a final. Italy, but Belgium.
Yeah,
I'm
Belgium have
saying
had two
it's
finals.
now very tricky because if Italy beat Belgium, I say whoever wins that game is going to the final
Yes.
and it's probably favourites. But England also, we win our games, we're also favourites.
Mm.
So I feel like Italy are. Belgium. Nah, they're not. They're not beating Belgium. They're not beating Belgium.
You know what? I've been thinking. Obviously, Belgium are the favorite. They're the number one ranked side in the world, like officially. I think they're the favorites. They have a host of great players, and although there were doubts and questions about their defense, I think experience is proven to be very important here. You got Thomas Vermaelen coming from Japan, and he pocketed Ronaldo. It's things like that, but Italy have obviously been playing the best football. They haven't conceded. I think they're the only team, along with England, to have not conceded.
No, they've conceded now. They've
Italy
conceded against Austria.
Oh yeah. So England are the only team. Nice. But I just think Belgium will have a bit too much for them.
Do you know what's funny is that before the tournament even started, I remember saying to my friends, like, we're talking about, oh, who do you think's gonna win? And I said Belgium. And then I don't know why these guys made me change my mind because I was saying, oh, what about the defense? Everyone's old. But I know deep down, I knew that Belgium still had Lukaku, De Bruyne, and they are the number one team for a reason in the world.
Yeah.
So I think they could be too strong for Italy, even though Italy are a great team collectively. But Belgium, Hazard, we saw Hazard, who might as well go into that game. Hazard scored the goal in the 1-0 win against Portugal.
Mm.
Like they have players who can just do something out of nothing.
Mm.
I saw that Hazard score. I thought it was Eden Hazard, but then I saw it's Thorgan Hazard. I was like, what? Since when?
Who's the little brother now?
Yeah.
Because Thorgan Hazard is really showing up for Germany. He's been showing for Dortmund over the past couple of years, and I think because of the problems Eden Hazard has, I want to try to say it properly, Eden Hazard, because of the problems he's had, his injuries and his weight gain, he hasn't obviously been in the limelight as much. But at this tournament, he was eased into it. He didn't start the first match, but he was eased into the games, and he's starting matches now. You can literally see he looks lighter, he looks faster, he looks sharper, and he looks like he's getting back into the groove of things. Because when he does play for Belgium, there's always one match that sticks in my mind. It was the match against Brazil in the last World Cup, and there's one moment he got the ball and turned Fernandinho with 3 touches. He controlled it with his chest or his knee or something. And then with the outside of the foot, 3 to 4 touches, and he had about 5 yards on Fernandinho. And I think
just
that's the best. It's the best I've ever seen Hazard play. I don't think he's ever going to get back to those levels, but the things he's doing now and the things he was doing in the match that they just played were similar to
glimpses.
It was nice to see, but at the same time, I'm always going to go back to England because we're getting to the final. It's worrying because if you put that Hazard, an informed Hazard, an informed Lukaku, De Bruyne, Tielemans, Meunier, Courtois, if you put all of those players against the England team in the final,
we're still winning. That's what's happening.
It's going to be a very, very tough game. But I think Belgium will be too strong for Italy in the quarterfinals because of what I just said. You've got players returning to full form. De Bruyne's having a tough time at the moment, but he's still managing to contribute to the goals and assists. It's going to be a very, very good match of the quarterfinals that we will have.
It's on Friday as well. It's the first one.
Yeah,
so can't wait to see that. But how disappointing, Netherlands, the team I said that I feel like they can get far because the way they play is so entertaining. But they lost 2-0 to Czech Republic.
Patrick Schick,
team in our group.
We could play them in the semi-finals, but I always had doubts with the Netherlands, mainly because they didn't have Van Dijk and Van der Beek. I know he didn't play for Man United a lot, but he does start for the Netherlands. He is an important part of their play, and also the fact that they play 5 at the back. That's not the way Netherlands play. That's not the way they're brought up in their club academies through the youth system. They play 4-3-3. Netherlands made 4-3-3 a thing like that. That's what the Netherlands have been known for. Their fans didn't like it. They were flying planes over the training ground saying go to 4-3-3.
Nevertheless, but the thing is, even though they're playing 3 at the back, 3-4-3, whatever, they didn't take their chances. They really should have. The game should have been over. What's his name? Marlon?
Donyell Marlon, yeah.
Yeah, he fumbled it. I don't know what he had in his mind, whether to try go around the keeper or just shoot. He didn't do either. And then next thing you know, it was a check, go and score, or there's a red card from De Ligt. And it was a very, very clear red card. And I think looking back, his decision he probably shouldn't have made. Maybe just accept the goal, and then at least you have 11 players on the pitch.
Yeah.
But then what he did is
put trust in your keeper.
Yeah, but then 10 men, 1-0 down. It was game over from there.
You know what? With the Marlon chance, after looking at the replays, obviously when I was watching the match, the ball, his first touch wasn't bad, but the time frame in which he had to shoot, the ball was literally in the middle of both of his feet. So it would have either had to have been outside of the foot shot or a toe punt. And I think that's where he decided, look, I have to take it around the keeper. I don't think he had a choice because he's obviously right-footed and he wouldn't have felt comfortable putting it on his left. Or it was just right in the middle. It was in the worst place it could have been.
It's the difference. Those small things are the difference. It's about your touch. And your touch. I told Fred.
All about first touch, man.
Told Fred, kick against the wall, left foot, right foot. It's about knowing your first touch is crucial in this game. And obviously his first touch wasn't the best and they got knocked out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I would have liked to see them progress because they haven't been about the international scene properly for a few years now. And I like the Netherlands. I always have done. They've had players like Van Persie, Robin Schneider, I was a massive fan of. It's been weird to see them drop off so much. And I thought this tournament would have been the one that gave them a little bit of a kick up the backside. And speaking about Netherlands, the ball's been sacked because of them getting knocked out. So I think that just goes to show they weren't expecting to do so badly. And obviously the people in charge weren't expecting that either. It's been tough for them, but at the end of the day, they deserve to get knocked out because Czech Republic are not a bad team. They're a very, very organized side, and they have a couple of good finishes in their team. Obviously, Patrick Schick is up there. He managed to grab the second goal. I've put him back in my fantasy team for the quarters because it's a match against Denmark, and that is a game now I can see a lot of goals being scored in.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. Denmark, Czech Republic. I think I'm back in Denmark for that one. I think Denmark. The momentum, they'll still have the momentum. And Czech Republic, they beat Netherlands, but I think Denmark could be too strong. Could be, but it'll be a very close game.
I think they're two close teams, if I'm being honest. Denmark I wanna say they're in the top 10 of the FIFA World Rankings. Throughout this episode, actually, I'm gonna check it now whilst I speak. I think they're in the top 10 of the FIFA World Rankings, and they have been for the past few years because they've never been a bad side. They are. Oh no, they're not. Oh,
they're outside of it.
I think so. Yeah, the latest world rankings are England 4th. Actually, that's higher than I expected, to be honest. Oh wow. Yeah, but they're not a bad side. I think they don't get a lot of respect or the respect they deserve because it's not France, because it's not Germany. They have solid players all around. They've got Kier at the back. They had Christian Eriksen. Obviously, he won't be playing in this tournament again. They have. I think the word that you meant to use is industrious, or something.
Yeah, I get what you mean. They're all very hard-working players.
Yeah, they put their nation on their back.
Yeah.
Especially Poulsen and Braithwaite. They don't score the most amount of goals. Yeah. They are always
very selfless players. Very, very selfless.
And I think every international team needs that. It's nice to see, but I think we just have to be a little bit cautious of them if we do face them in the semi-finals, which it will be.
But yeah, Monday yesterday, one of the greatest days in football history. After the 2008 Champions League final where Man United beat Chelsea on penalties. But yeah, after that, it's Monday the 28th of June 2021. Croatia lost 3. No, I was about to say 3-5.
By the way, Denmark are 10th. Just to clear that up.
Yeah. Croatia lost 5-3 to Spain.
That was a crazy match.
It was 3-1 in the which minute was it?
I want to say 85th. Didn't Orsic score in the 86th minute?
Yes, he did.
And then obviously,
so it was 3-1 in the 80. Wait, no. It was 3-1 in 90. Wait. Oh, that is extra time, isn't it?
Orsic scored in the 86th minute, and then in extra time of normal time, I want to say it was Pasalic or Vlasic. I think it was Pasalic who scored.
Yeah, it was Pasalic.
They equalized it, and then obviously Morata and Oyarzabal.
Yeah.
The Sociedad winger scored in extra time to make it 5-3, but I don't know if it was just me, but I knew that Croatia would get back into it. You could see the pressure that they were putting on the Spanish back line. Eric Garcia came off and Pau Torres came on. I don't know why Luis Enrique is starting Eric Garcia and bringing on Pau Torres, because Pau Torres is the better defender. And
definitely.
when you're under so much pressure like that, you can't just drop a centre back in. It's like the same sort of Tanzibi. We're holding a match, or a team is holding a match out.
Put him in. It doesn't make any sense.
If you're going to put him in, you can't take out someone he's in the groove of the game, because the game was so fast. It was quick and fast, attack after attack, and you just say go and defend that. You're fresh legs. You haven't had any minutes in a few days, and I just want you to defend. And I think that's where they got found out, because Laporte didn't have the best game. And obviously, Pau Torres didn't impact it very well when he came on. And I just think that was poor management. I think he should have kept Garcia on. Tired or not, you can't drop a fresh defender into a situation like that. I think it did come back to bite them, but obviously they did score an extra time.
Yeah, but I have to give credit to the Spanish goalkeeper, because to concede that own goal, and then after that to have I don't even know what to say, like the courage to keep playing. And he played well for the rest of the game.
Pulled off an amazing save. I think it might have been an extra time of normal time, which would have put Croatia ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know. If I conceded an own goal like that, best know I'm telling the manager to sub me off, because that is so tough. I think imagine you're David De Gea on the bench and you see that goalkeeper do that. You're thinking to yourself, what have I done to deserve this?
I think De Gea is injured. I saw on Twitter Manchester United posted an injury update on De Gea. I didn't read it, but I think something must be up with him, because let's be real, he should be starting for Spain. But we have to talk about the back pass. Pedri, youngster, everyone loves him. Spanish fans love him. Apparently he's the next Iniesta or whatnot. But that back pass was terrible.
Too much power.
Way too much power. Yeah. When you pass it back to the keeper, you have to make it as easy as possible for them. You can't blast it.
Blast it at his feet.
He's curled the ball back to him. The ball's spinning. The ball's bouncing at a high speed. That's a tough touch wherever you are on the pitch. It just so happens that it's the goalkeeper, so it goes in the back of the net. Right backs have to do with that all the time. Strikers, when the ball gets fired into their feet, lose touches. It happens to everyone. I think when you pass it back to the keeper, you have to pass. I always say
outside the post.
Yeah, pass it outside the post, because if it does go over their foot, then it goes out for a corner. But you don't drill it like that on target. It was a shot on target. I think it was a shot on target. You have to pass it outside the post, and he just made a mistake there. But obviously he recovered from that.
Keeper was dead. He played well for the remainder of the game.
Pulled off a few amazing saves.
Did.
England captain should be Sterling. If that ever happened, if he was made the England official captain, the Sun would go bust. The Daily Mail would go bust. People would lose their jobs.
Yeah, just the country be flipped. That's what you need to know. The country just be flipped.
Yeah, man, it wouldn't be good. He has worn the armband, obviously. So is Rashford.
Yeah,
you know. But
I think he is vice captain, or he's somewhere on the leadership role.
I think Henderson is vice. I think it goes Kane, Henderson, Maguire, Sterling, and then has to be Rashford.
But yeah, the second game, the main man, Paul Pogba running the show, but it wasn't enough. He scored. He scored a great goal as they drew 3-3 in extra time, win the penalties, and Kylian Mbappé, the guy who hasn't turned up this tournament, missed a crucial pen, and they lost 5-4 in pens.
I don't want to hear any more of these Rashford and Mbappe debates. Rashford is clear. Rashford star boy. You're hearing this, Mbappe. Rashford wants you to come outside. Rashford can take a penalty under the pressure. We've seen it in Paris against Mbappe. All jokes aside, dead penalty, terrible penalty. Perfect.
Pogba's penalty though, ice in his veins, as Stuart says.
I don't know why people doubt Pogba. Why do people doubt Pogba? I had a debate yesterday. It wasn't even a debate because it was a unanimous decision. But behind Neymar and Messi, the most naturally gifted, talented, technical footballer on the planet has to be Pogba.
Yeah,
I think it has to be Pogba. Can you think of anybody else off the top of your head who's more naturally gifted than Pogba, apart from Neymar and Messi? Can you? Natural talent.
Messi. Could say Ronaldo.
Ronaldo's worked hard. He's worked hard.
Yes,
Pogba's been doing this.
But you can say Pogba worked hard as well because
but
you just get like fast feet for no reason. I think Messi's gifted.
I think Neymar worked hard. Then De Bruyne's worked hard. I'm talking about his natural ability because he's been doing that since he was a youth player in the Man United academy. He was not Pogba with Varna. Varna, come on, man. Did you watch the game?
I think Varna. You're listening to what's his name?
Haters. You're listening to haters.
No, you're listening to what's his name? The guy. I even forgot his name. Played for Man U. How have I forgotten his name? But yeah, everyone's just hating on Pogba because his goal was Roy Keane. I forgot his name. Roy Keane, because Roy Keane yesterday was saying how Pogba lacks the defensive discipline. This is why he can't work in it too. Yes, he's good going forward, playing passes, shooting, but defensively he's poor. And that's what they're basing it on.
Pogba was there for man of the match. If France went through, Pogba gets man of the match. Obviously, Switzerland won, so Granit Xhaka got man of the match. Pogba was the best player on that pitch by a distance. Like the passes he was making, the dribbles he was complete. It's not just one goal. Even if he didn't score that goal, he still gets man of the match to me. He was in control of that whole game. It's not his fault that France didn't win. It's not his fault that Mbappe missed a penalty. Pogba,
he played a few passes to Mbappe. Mbappe just didn't have his shooting boots on. He lacking confidence. I just don't understand. It's not the Mbappe we see in the Champions League or for PSG or what we saw in the 2018 World Cup.
I just think, I don't know what Pogba you were watching. Maybe you got him mixed up with someone else.
I think you're watching Fred. To be honest, you must have been watching Fred, Varner, because the Pogba I saw him hit top bins, playing passes, and
in all seriousness, though, Pogba's still up there for player of the tournament. Pogba didn't have a bad game. I think what it is, not just Varner, but thousands of other people. There's just such an agenda against Pogba. Everything he does. If McTominay puts in that performance, he's getting a knighthood tomorrow morning. If anyone else puts in a performance that Pogba puts in, you're gonna hear about it for years to come. But because it's Pogba, because it's trendy to dislike him because all the media outlets love and thrive off ripping him down whenever he does something positive. I think it just it leaks through to fans, and when they watch him play, it's like, oh, he just nutmeg 4 people and put a ball on a 10 pence piece for Mbappe, but Mbappe didn't score, so Pogba's pass was terrible. I think that's the way it works when we watch Pogba, but I know what I saw. He was up for man of the match, but Switzerland went through, so naturally it goes to the best player on that team. Well, Pogba played that game magnificently. I think it's just unfortunate they didn't get to go through. And if we're going to talk about penalties, Pogba's easily put away the best penalty. You can't get much more top bins than that. In a penalty shootout.
That was a risk. That's a massive
risky.
risk.
Lifting the ball that high in a moment of that intensity.
Yeah.
I don't even think his heart was beating. He has got ice. He's got ice in his veins, as Stuart said.
But I want to quickly go back to the Portugal game because obviously Ronaldo didn't score, didn't really impact the game against Belgium too much. Jota, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes didn't even start the game again. Renato Sanchez started, and I was going to say, like, Bernardo Silva, Jota, these guys performing for their teams, Liverpool, Man City, but Portugal, they're non-existent. Again, Bruno Fernandes, Portugal, non-existent. But all the hate is being directed at Bruno Fernandes, and I need to direct this hate to somewhere else because Jota and Silva, particularly Jota, because he's had a great season. Great season at Liverpool in his first season there. But for Portugal, his passing just hasn't been good enough. And I'm pretty sure Ronaldo, when he got in that dressing room, even João Felix, what's João Felix doing? He's meant to be on par with like Sancho or those players like that. He's not even, when he does play, he doesn't even play that well. So I'm so disappointed for Portugal.
I'm disappointed for Portugal, but I think along with a lot of other international managers, their manager's just not good enough. Bernardo Silva gets selected because he's been there for a while, because he was part of that previous Euro campaign in which they won. He shouldn't be starting there. João Felix should be starting because he's a better player. We're here right now. You brought up Bruno Fernandes, his hate. We have to have a serious discussion about Bernardo Silva. What does he offer for Portugal? Because he doesn't have the pace to play on the wing.
I'm going to say he doesn't offer anything because on the right he's not fast.
Yeah.
Yes, he can pass the ball, so maybe he should play in a CM role.
Yeah.
But not on the wing. Why is he playing on the wing when you have someone like Rafa on the bench? He's fast.
Yeah.
And then Bruno, you can't playing Bruno in that team, that system doesn't work because Ronaldo is on free roam. Ronaldo is dropping deep to try to get the ball, occupies Bruno Fernandes' space. So that's why Bruno was not effective in the whole tournament. Then Bruno, okay, he has to drop in deep. It's not his game. The whole system just didn't work. Jota on the left wing, he just didn't perform.
He doesn't know how to pass. He doesn't know how to pass to Ronaldo. So many opportunities, not just in that game, but the whole tournament. Yeah, you could just pass it to Ronaldo and there's an easy finish in the back of the net. And you could see the anger when Ronaldo doesn't get past the ball and Jota blasts it over the goal. I don't know what he's saying, but there's some extreme language in there. Jota was just not good at all. And I think
he was scared. I think he was scared because imagine you're playing with Ronaldo and you don't perform, you're going to be scared or you're going to have doubts.
Do you think he believes his hype?
I think Jota just crumbled under the pressure. He just couldn't take it.
Do you think it's I'm Diogo Jota, I'm this, I'm that, I did well for Liverpool this season.
I think that's what we thought. Premier League, done very well for Watford. I've got my move to Liverpool, playing so well in Liverpool. I'm even benching Mane. I'm the guy. And then Euros,
when Ronaldo's there, and Ronaldo's there, there's a handful of players on this planet that when they are there, doesn't matter who they play for, who's on the team, they are the guy. Ronaldo is probably the top one of that. He goes Messi, Neymar. That's probably it. I'll be real. But Ronaldo, when he's there, when you have the opportunity to shoot or pass it across the goal to Ronaldo.
You have to pass it to Ronaldo. You have to
pass it to Ronaldo because he's literally the greatest goal scorer the world has ever seen. I just think the team, the Portugal national team, the players that he plays with, they're not good enough for him. They need to understand that Ronaldo's the guy. Ronaldo is the person that is going to score the goals to drag you out of the mess. And if you don't give it to him, you're not going to win. And that's how Portugal have been playing for the past few years. The ball goes to Ronaldo and they win. Obviously, apart from the final.
It worked. That worked, the system worked, but the players in the system this time around didn't want to buy into it.
Yeah.
Or the system just didn't work. The manager, as he said, not good enough.
You play a system that works for your best players. Their best players, Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, someone like João Moutinho. You have to have a good spine. You give Fernandes and Ronaldo that free roam role, the same way Fernandes has a free roam role for Manchester United, same way he's getting 45 plus goals and assists a season for the past few years. Do the same for Portugal and you get the same results. Give the ball to Ronaldo. If Bruno Fernandes is floating around the box, floating around 25, 30 yards out, he's the one that can play that intricate ball through the middle. He's the one that can link up with Ronaldo and give him the chance to score.
No, that's where I think I disagree, because Ronaldo is not. Yes, he's playing strike or in free roam, but he's not the guy who's going to make those runs. He's not like that anymore. He just wants the ball in the box, crossed into the box.
Yeah, you give him the ball.
He's not going to make that run really off the shoulder of the defender for Bruno to play it an intricate pass to him. That's the problem. Whereas Bruno has been doing that all season for Man U. For Ronaldo can't do that anymore. He just wants balls played into the box. So I think that system is never going to work.
I hear that, but you just got to get the best out of your players, whether that's letting go of the what was it called? We're going to make up a word and it's not going to make sense. Relationship. It's not going to make sense in context that their manager has with Bernardo Silva on the right. As you said, they got Rafa on a bit. I think his name Rafa Silva, something like that. Yeah. He was the one who got the assist for Ronaldo's there when they played the couple of 1-2s. It was him. Play him on the right. Play someone who's going to be able to get the ball into the box at any given opportunity, because he's able to beat a man with pace. Because when Bernardo Silva gets past a man, he gets past them, but he hasn't got the pace to get away from them. So the defender can just get back and he has to beat them all over again. Put someone like Silva on. I know Gonzalo Guedes wasn't playing or he isn't there, but he's got the pace. He's a winger. When they get past the man, they can beat them and carry on beating them and gain ground on them and create a space between them. Bernardo Silva can't do that. And I think he's either been found out or he's just declining, because he's been like that for Manchester City. There's a reason Mahrez plays over him, because he can beat a man. He does the same sort of stuff that Bernardo Silva does, but he has the pace to be able to get away from someone and keep that distance there. Silva can't do that. And it's a shame. No. Ronaldo is not a hindrance for Portugal to move forward. That's
cool.
not even. You
can't say that. Ronaldo.
Nope.
If anything, Ronaldo is meant to be an inspiration for everyone moving forward.
He's not meant to be. He is.
And I feel like Jota in particular was fearful. He took it in a different way. Because when I saw Jota on the pitch, he just didn't look himself. Maybe starstruck, or maybe just I don't know, because he was performing prior to the Euros for Portugal. But obviously, Euros, pressure, everything all adds up, and certain players just can't handle it.
I think it's more of he's trying to compete with Ronaldo. He's trying to he wants to be the star. But as I said, Ronaldo's there. He is the star. You're not going to take that crown. Even if when Ronaldo retires, 10 years, they're still going to be talking his name. If Jota scores 5 goals, they're still going to be talking Ronaldo's name. You just have to. It's annoying me now because I keep replaying that one chance when Jota could have played it across the goal and given it to Ronaldo. But yeah, Ronaldo's never going to be a hindrance for Portugal until the day where he just actually can't run properly and he can't do any normal things. That's when he'll become a hindrance. But he carries Portugal. Top scorer at the tournament, 36 years old. He's broken a few records in the tournament alone.
He's 36 years old.
36 years old, and he plays like a 27-year-old in his prime. He is still one of the best players in the world. Still Portugal's best player by a country mile. He's their captain. He's their leader. He's their inspiration. He's the person that they look up to. He's the person that they look to when they're down. He's the person that drags them back into games. Remember the match against Spain at the World Cup? Without Ronaldo, they lose. They don't get to that World Cup. They don't get to the previous Euros without Ronaldo because they had to beat Sweden. They don't do anything without Cristiano Ronaldo. He's the person. He's their hero, man. It's just simple as that.
Quickly, if Bruno takes penalties, he would be their best player too.
Nah.
That is no.
I can't
because
even.
Ronaldo, as Anton just, I think Anton, you already answered this question just before about you mentioned what Ronaldo has done. So you can't just say, "Oh, Ronaldo takes penalties, therefore he's their best player." So it doesn't. I don't think that works.
No.
But the game of the tournament, I think, was the France game. France v
Switzerland. Had to be, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so this weekend, starting from Friday, is the quarterfinals. So the first set of quarterfinals, Switzerland versus Spain. Oh, who's gonna win that? I'm gonna say.
Can we get predictions in the chat as well for these games?
Yeah.
Switzerland versus Spain.
I'm gonna say Spain.
I'm gonna say Switzerland. I don't know what judge they've got on the tournament so far, but I hope it doesn't wear off because Seferovic. We talk about every episode. We've spoken about international players. Seferovic is an international player. Gavranovic is an international player. Shaqiri is. They have a good defense as well. They have Jan Sommer in goal. Mönchengladbach keeper has been about for a few years now, and he's one of the better goalkeepers in Europe. They've got Mbabu at right back. He's somebody who I've wanted at Man United from when we played Young Boys in the. I think
was that Europa League?
I don't know. It was when Pogba had pink boots. He scored the goal with his left foot.
Yeah, I think that's Europa League.
That match, I didn't discover him. I knew his name because I played FIFA, blah, blah. That was the first time I saw him play a match, and he had us on ropes. Like he's a very, very good right back. He plays for Wolfsburg at the moment, but they have good players in their team. They have a very, very solid team. They got experience in the middle with Mehmedi, who came on. They got Xhaka as well. He's been playing very well. Another international player. It's going to be a close match, closer than you think. I think they can do it. I think they can get to the semis.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying because the way they played against France when it was 3-1,
yeah,
they had the fighting spirit. And someone like Spain also have this fighting spirit as well. So it will be a very even game. I think Spain will just come up on top in that game. But Belgium, Italy, that's the big one. This, as I said earlier in the show, this is a final worthy. Belgium, Italy. And so I'm gonna stick with what I said. Belgium, definitely.
Same with me. I have to go for Belgium.
Saturday, 3rd of July, Czech Republic, Denmark. Said it as well. I'm going to say Denmark.
I think it's going to be the best match in terms of end-to-end football. But I'm going to have to go with Czech Republic. I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a hard game. Definitely. Very, very close game. I think it's going to be very tight to call. But easy game to call. Ukraine, England. I mean, you can see it here. It's going to be England.
We've done it before. We've beaten Ukraine at the Euros before, and we're going to have to do it again. I'm confident England will go through. But at the same time, we've seen it with club matches, international matches. You beat the best guy, and then you come up against someone who you think isn't very good, and you rest on your laurels. You become complacent. You start to take the mick a little bit, and it comes back to haunt you. If we go out against Ukraine, it's because we don't show up. They don't have better players than us. They're not a better side. They don't have the quality really to compete with us on the pitch. So they only go through because they want it more.
It's all about hard work. Right now, it's hard work. Not about talent, not about ability. This game is going to be about hard work. He wants it more, as you just said. And we have to want it more. Yes, it's going to be our first away game because we're going to be in Rome. The quarterfinals in Rome.
Yeah.
But we take it as a positive. It's our away game. Win the game. We're back on home turf for the
Yeah.
semi-finals and for the final potentially. So
I'm
the
nervous,
incentive
man.
as the
I'm
incentive.
nervous.
And we win, we play Czech Republic or Denmark, and then we
Yeah.
win the final. 2 games, win the final.
Again, home advantage. The fans we have in the semi-final and final. In the final, actually, we will be the away side. I think, but in the semi-finals, we're gonna have at least 25,000 fan swing, maybe 30,000 fan swing. Makes a massive difference. But we just have to get it. We have to get past Ukraine, which I think we will do. Yeah, no, Varna's right here.
Tactics was spot on.
Kimmich got killed. I was actually I'm a massive fan of Robin Gosens. But he was played out of the game.
Just nullified it. Perfect tactics. And yeah, I think that rounds up the show. I think we'll be back on Saturday after the England game. You'll see me back in this top. You hear the Three Lions music when we beat Ukraine. We're gonna beat Ukraine 3-0 on Saturday. Just remember I said that.
3.
But yeah, 3-0.
I reckon we're gonna 1-0 our way all the way to the final.
Imagine.
We almost did it today.
Almost. Kane is getting 2 goals and Sterling is getting 1 on Saturday.
Jorginho just scored.
But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.